Good morning. This morning I'm going to show you how I hoop these little hats. I've got these little Minnie Mouse hats, and I'm going to embroider little girl's 3 initials here. So I was going to show you how I do that. First thing I do is I take I use fast frames. You can use hoops if you choose. That's up to you. But I cut this just a little wider, not maybe half an inch. I don't measure. It doesn't have to be exactly, but about that much wider. And then I cut it up to this line. It doesn't really matter about this, but anyway. So after I cut it, I have a box, and this is just the way I do it. I don't like to get all this stuff in the house everywhere, so I lay my paper down in there, and I take my spray adhesive and I just spray. Okay. And then I use this. Now what this is, if you notice, this is a diaper. It was I mean, it's a new clean diaper, but I just stick it in the bottom to keep the box from getting so really dirty. And this is just sticky stuff. It just gets sticky over time. The more you stick it, and if you use black cloth and things in there, it just gets kind of nasty looking, but works great. Keeps the spray from getting everywhere. Alright, so I am back to the mat, and what I do is just lay it down. And some of you probably already know all of this stuff. That's great. I just figured I would post it for those that don't have a clue. Stick it on there that way. And I might be a little bit too meticulous with this, but you don't really have to do the ends. But I find that it stays on better if I cut the ends and just fold them over. And you can cut this little piece up here too if you want, but sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. And then I'm going to fold this down this way. I fold the flap back and it sticks. Fold the flap back and it sticks. And then if this is not sticky enough, if this is not sticky enough, then I just stick it back in my box and spray it again, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And this time I give it a really nice thick coat of it. Not a thick coat, but I make sure I get it all wet because I want it really sticky when I try to work with my hat. Okay, the next thing I do is I remove the little paper thing, that cardboard thing that sticks here. This one didn't have one, but this one does. Just take that out. Then I go ahead and Velcro it, and I guess that's what you call it. Anyway, loosen it. I fold the hat kind of up like this to get that out of the way, so that it's not laying back here. I take the little band, I guess you call it. I fold it down like this around the hat, so that I've got this out of the way, and then I've got this out of my way, like that. Okay. Now I take the bill and I just bend it until I can get it flat. And you don't want to bend it so hard that you break it. Just work with it. It will bend back. I think it's cardboard. I'm not sure. I think so. But anyway, so you want to get it bent like this. Then I'm going to get you so close that you can't see. No, I think I want to turn. I'm not sure why. Okay, I'm going to bring it in so you can kind of see what I do with it. Alright, so now I don't hoop this way, I hoop it this way, and this is all the area that I need for the little tiny part on the hat. So it's kind of up to you which size you will use, depending on if you're using a bigger hat or you're doing something bigger on it. Of course, you're going to want to be wider if you're sticking it on the end. That's just the way I do it. I'm not sure that you could do it the other way. You probably could, but this is just the way that I do it. Now, one thing that I do is I get it right close to the edge of the table. Okay. I take my hands and just kind of flatten the part here that I want to put down there, and at the same time I'm holding my hands on the rim, the little binder thing, the band, to make sure that it doesn't flip back under the hat, because I don't want to sew that in with the letters. Okay, so what I do is, another thing, you want to make sure that you are lining the hat, the top of the hat up here, and then I take my fingernail, and I did ink one time and it got on the shirt, so don't do ink, but you want to be able to quickly see that little tiny tab there, and you can see it underneath the little thing, and then you have one up here at the top, so you want to be able to see that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this metal fastener or whatever to line it up with the top part, and then I kind of eye this and figure out. Now the regular hats have the little band there, the little strips, that's perfect. This one doesn't. So you kind of eye it, and I'm going to center it into there, so I want it about right there. Okay. And I'm going to make sure you can see me. I hold down here, flatten it, and at the same time take my mini head and flatten it back. Okay. You can notice I'm going to flatten. I'm going to make sure that my fastener is right to the center. And I'm kind of pushing it down. And then I'm just flattening it, pressing it into the glue. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I have enough glue. I don't have enough spray adhesive. So you want it really, really sticky, because it's got to be able to hold the hat. And you can also use this hole back here as your center guide. And just take your hand, and the rest of the hat doesn't have to be flat, just where you're going to embroider. So, and this is a little space, so I really want the middle piece to be straight. Okay, now have that on. I'll kind of check it. I check it with the back, and looks pretty straight to me. I'm a little bit off on the back, but I'm right on with the metal piece there. So what I'm going to do is loosen it a little, hold the back, and there may be an easier way to do this, but you can flip it over too and use these lines here to see. So I'm a little off that line, a little off that line. Okay, about right there, looks straight. Okay. And it just takes some working with it. You just have to kind of look at it, move it, stick it. You just want to make sure it's straight. You don't want to sew it and it's not straight. Okay, that looks good to me. That looks straight. Looks straight on the back. So I think we're good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my machine. And I'm using the PRS 100, the brother. I do have my fast frame attachment that holds the fast frames on. I'm really not bracket, whatever. So this just slips right on to, and always just be careful with this and the needle. You can take it off, but you don't have to if you're careful. And you slide these over the top under the tabs. And you just want to make sure that they pop down. Okay, and then have the back knob loosened, Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to take the hat and the part with this, you're going to slide it under. Now just flatten the hat down. Don't try to move it. Just kind of flatten it to get it out of the way. Get it on. Make sure both of your little knobs are there. And then you can kind of take the hat and push it back a little. I always take my hand and make sure that it's fastened again. We definitely don't want to use yellow. I did a bunny for a lady that that is giving them, actually her name is Rolanda, and it's funny how the people that you can meet on Facebook and on YouTube and just kind of interacting with each other through the things that you make. But anyway, she ordered 2 bunnies to go along with 2 little throw quilts for her nephews. So I did those last night. Alright, this we're going to be using red. So I need to find my red. You can see red is getting low. I need some more red. I'm going to thread it, and I will bring it up, show you me threading it on the top. This is just the way I thread it. I come from the back hole, this hole here that has a 1 beside it, come through the front, come through the 2 down here, pop under that, okay, wrap around, come this way. Now I will tell you, I do have some tape right here. My piece, I was having some difficulties with my machine. I'm not sure what was going on. I'm not sure if it was a file or what. But anyway, it worked itself out, and it like got into a bind and got off center or something. Anyway, not messed up, but it wouldn't work. So I called the company. They told me, not the company where I bought it from, they told me to turn it off, let it sit for a while, turn it back on. Anyway, it fixed it. But in the meantime, when I was trying to get the sides off to see, because I'm always one that I want to see if I can see what's going on, this popped off and I can't get it to snap back in, and I don't want to break it. So the lady where I bought the machine from told me, and I'm sorry you're not down here, I'm talking about this little piece here. She told me they would put it back on for me, but I just haven't had a chance to stop and take the machine. She said they would do it right then, but it's an hour away and I just haven't had time. So as long as I keep tape over this where it won't pop out, it's fine. So, but I am going to get that taken care of as soon as I can. Okay, I have already saved the file. I'll kind of show you. Let's go back home. Okay, I saved it on my jump drive. So here's my jump drive. B pocket is where it saves anything that I create on the machine that I want to save for later use. And it was this one here. It's an S, a T, and an A. Now one thing I'm not really sure of, and I wanted to find out before I did these, I'm not sure if the T is really supposed to be at the back and the 2 side letters toward the front, or if the 2 side letters are supposed to be behind the last name initial. So I am going to go find that out real quick before I sew this, because I've done multiple. I always do the last name letter initial brought to the front of the other 2, but I'm really not sure if that's correct. So I'm going to check. Okay, when I looked online, I kind of see it both ways. I see the middle initial, which is your last name initial, toward the front, and then some of them I see it toward the back. I like the way it looks when it's toward the front, so I'm going to do the last name initial, which is the middle initial, toward the front. Now I do need to change my bobbin, and what I do is let me see what color is that. Actually white. What I do is I always just match the back of whatever I'm doing with that color bobbin. Some people just use white. It's up to you. That's just something I've done. I don't have to. It's just a personal preference. So if you don't like doing that, just ignore this. But if it's something you're interested in doing, then that's fine. The reason I do it is because one time I was having trouble with my tension and the white was kind of pulling through a little bit. So I just changed to the color of what I was embroidering, and that way you didn't have to worry about seeing it. But I got that fixed, so it's not an issue now. So it's kind of up to you. Now on bunnies, of course, I have to do the back bobbin because you can see the back side of the embroidery for the bunny. Go ahead. Did you check all of them, Gracie? All right, go ahead and put it up. Go ahead and how about get the stool and go ahead and do the sink here. All right, so I have my white bobbin. Hope you can kind of see. I'm gonna put it in. Always make sure you hear a little click. Click. Put that up. Make sure we're flat. I've got my bobbin. My red thread on. I'll try to let you see how I'm going to do this. Now, this is one thing that took me a while to figure out, but I have figured this out, so I do want to share this. Okay, here's what I'm going to embroider, so I'm going to click set, and I don't know where, here's my stylus. Okay, now, I'm going to click embroider, even though I'm not starting now, embroider. Now, what I want to do is, it has me doing the T first. I don't want to do the T first. So the way you can skip, and it took me forever, and I found it one time and then I forgot where it was, but I found it again, so now I'm using it all the time. But you go here to the little needle minus plus sign, and this screen pops up where you can jump threads, you can back up, or you can go forward. But over here you can jump colors. So if I want to go forward a color, you notice that it changed to the S. So that's what I want to embroider first, and then it's going to do the A, and then I will go back and actually do the T last. So I'm going to do the S first, so I'm just going to click OK. Alright, and then another thing I really did not know for a long time is that I don't have to sit there and, I'll show you over here, I don't have to, let's see, no, okay. In order to get this where I want it, I don't have to sit there and do the little, like that. I would do that and have to get it all the way over here, and it took forever. And some of you may know this, but I just did not know this at all. But what I can do is I can click on this here, and then I always go to the top, okay? And then click OK. Now I can just take this and drag it. I did not know that. And if you're noticing when I'm dragging it, it's dragging around. I want to get it in the center of that. And I want to have it about right there. So you notice my little dot. So it moved it there. So now that's the top and the middle of my design. Now I want to check it to see how far it's going to go down. Okay. It's going to go right down to there, which is fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of push, so that's far enough there. I want to check over here though. That's going to be fine, because see, I'm going to push it, and it's not going to go all the way here because the little letter's over here, so really it's going to be up here. This is the bottom of the middle letter, so I'm fine. I'm going to check my top corner there. I'm going to be, not even going to be up there, I'm really going to be down here, so this is actually going to be perfect. Alright, so now I'm going to click OK. I'm not going to use anything on top of this because I don't need to use a WSS, which is a water soluble stabilizer, because it's not, the thread's not going to sink in. I just want to make sure that my hat is pressed down nicely. I'm going to click, and it went back to the T, so I'm going to have to go back and do that same thing again to get me back over to the S, okay? And I'm going to click lock and go. And I kind of just hold it with my hands to make sure the hat is down. Of course, don't get your finger in the way. bit so it won't jump so much. And I don't know if it's because you're using the fast frame, but it kind of jumps up and down. So, and I could slow the machine down, that would help. Alright, so now I'm over here. Now the way mine's set up, I have to do each letter individually. So now I'm going to click and go. You cleaned it good, baby? Alright, go ahead and put it up. Okay, pop the thread, that's okay. Going to rethread it. And the threader, my threader does automatic threader. This machine does have an automatic threader, but it's not working right now. But when I carry it in to have the other little thing fixed, she told me it was like a $10 little fix. They would fix it for me. And actually they would show me how to do it, and I could just do it myself in the future rather than have to bring the machine all the way in. So, did you brush your teeth, baby?
I didn't eat this one.
Yeah, you're gonna eat at the daycare this morning. Okay, so go ahead and brush your teeth. Sorry about that. We are getting ready. The kids are getting ready to go for the morning. I am working and they are at the daycare. I have to go to the daycare other than my little boy. He goes to work with my husband. And I know I'm having a hard time. And I'm supposed to be using the tweezers, and I do use the tweezers some. I just forget sometimes. I always just grab it. Alright. So what I'm going to do now, because I popped the thread, I'm going to back up. So I'm going to click this little needle and the minus and plus sign. I'm going to back up until I see that I am past my stitch. Okay, now so you notice my little light tells me that I am right here, which is on my stitch, which is where I want to be. I don't want to leave any gaps. I don't want it to miss any stitches. So I'm going to click OK, lock, and go. And if it pops again, I know it's a bobbin issue. Okay. So now it's done the A. Now I'm ready to do the T. But of course it's telling me I'm done because it thinks I'm done. But we're going to click OK. I'm going to, it's on the T now already. So I'm just going to click lock and go. Like I said, I can move my hands, but you see how the hat starts jumping? I just don't like that, so I just kind of hold my hand. And I did use tearaway stabilizer on the back. You don't really need any stabilizer, but the stabilizer is just to hold the hat to the fast frame. Yes, sir. It's in your bedroom, in your box. Gracie put it up. Go get it. Go that way. Thank you. You finished the cereal? He goes to work with his daddy, so he eats before he goes. Alright, go ahead and get your whole outfit if you're carrying it. Mama's videotaping. You want to say hello? Just a minute, we're almost done. You can say hello. It's all the YouTube watchers on the internet that like to watch. Ooh. Okay.
And what's I going to do?
Can you say hello? Smile at them and say hello. Yay! That's Kaylin, our little guy. Alright, so we are done. And you notice that that's there. I have a little air can somewhere that I usually blow it off. But alright, so now what I do is, and I'm noticing my thread was kind of, not sure what's up with this thread, but it looks fine on the hat, so it didn't mess up on the hat. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the little fastener back there. Let me kind of move you around, maybe you can see. Gracie, go show him what his Hulk is, please. His outfit you put up for him. You're gonna twist this off. Don't twist it all the way off. You can, but you don't have to. I used to do it all the time. They had to put it back on, and I was like, I don't know why I do that. All right, so you take the hat off like this. Then you're going to just pull it, and this is tear away, so it's going to tear right off. And you're going to just kind of pull off what you can. I don't worry about getting those parts out of the middle because it's just a small design. Now on some things like t-shirts or things I do, but then you fold this back up, get the hat back around, fasten it back. And then, you know, you have to shape the hat, kind of get it back shaped. And I always put the little thing back in if there's one in it. This one didn't have one, so there you go. There you have it. There's the Minnie Mouse embroidered hat. I hope you enjoyed the video. And this is Shawn Woodell from Heavenly Soaps and Such. Check me out on my Facebook page, which is Kaylin. Stop for a minute, okay? Which is www.facebook.com/Heavenly Soaps and Such. Check me out on my page. If you want to order any items, please let me know. I just go through PayPal. You can let me know what you want and I'll invoice you through PayPal. Also check out my soaping videos. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.